Yay, yay. Sorry guys, let me just fix this. Do. Good morning. Morning, 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 morning. Alright, let's take a look. Okay, so here's our daily. Beautiful flip of the daily and then a return, liquidity and drop. That's nice. Right inside the daily level. Held, reversed. And look, we come under the zero line there as well. That's quite nice. So even out of that new hour, targeting the low. We have just taken the low, so could come back to the 1 hour, possibly. Let's have a look at the 15 minutes. We've already taken the low of the 15 minute, but we are back above. I'm wondering if we swipe that, tap and drop. We should go. It's looking. Ooh. Let's check. Hang on. Oh, that's nice. Let's give it a go. Go, go, go. So we're just going to use our 15-minute high. If not, we're going to be looking for a short at the 4 hour, 1 hour. That's not the 15-minute. No, that is the 15-minute high. So we've had our first 5 minutes, right? And then we've taken the low of the first 5 minutes. So the 15-minute candle should be pretty consistent with the 1 hour, and we're bearish as well. So we expect this low to go after the retracement. See, this isn't wow, this week's just been a consistent so this drop here where we failed to go up, and now we're coming back around again. So drop, continuation. We're not getting the drop and continuation. Let's see. Might just be this grab the high, tap in the 1 hour, and then look for the short. Wasn't looking for a return to the lows, just to return into the previous sort of around this sort of level, even the 15-minute low. Yesterday was fucking awful. The 3 hours that I traded, I think, were the worst 3 hours. I was looking at the data, and the short data, we had like a 50% probability for the short data at that time. We had a lot of false hours where we confirmed short and went long. It was bad. Bad, 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 bad. We got 3 minutes left of this 15-minute window, which is not good. We should have, we were going to deliver, that was deliver there, where we tapped back in and broke back down. So I'll be looking for a 1 minute trade here. Tap back in, and then potentially a continuation on new hour. So statistically, we do have probability that we take the low. Although, has the low already gone? Oh yeah, I didn't see that. So we have just taken the low, so that stat's gone. This protected high is only protected to the end of the 15 minutes, which is 2 minutes. So, not ideal really. This goes out. We were looking for that, weren't we? I'll just put that. It's being a right fucker. It's being a right fucker. Looking like it wants to go and then reverted. Right, new 15-minute, and this is now that's not protected anymore, right? So when this 15-minute closes, stop's not protected, and now we can expect that high to go with this 15-minute. So very aggressive first hour or first 15 minutes, just straight down, and then we take the low, and now we're reversing. So it was a good call to close early, right? Better. It's just been such a dick in when it's been breaking down and then reversing on you this week. Yeah, come on. You know I want to short, but I feel like you're just gonna fuck me. Here we go. Oh, come on. Can I just delete that? So, a couple of concerns. Right, previous 15-minute. That's my liquidity line. So we took the high of the previous 15-minute. And that was probably the grab. But when we take the high of the previous candle, there is a probability of a good probability of a bearish, bullish, sorry, closing bullish, which would be this 15-minute candle closing above here. And obviously dynamic TP still above the zero line, and this has just been an absolute dick in the way that it's been faking out. This is also an inside bar, so this is the previous 15 minutes high, right? So nearly 5 minutes in. So our 4 hour here is bearish, right? So we've taken the low of the 4 hour. Our hourly is bearish. We've taken the low of the first 20 minutes. So we expect potentially to have a low, if we're going to carry on bearish, down here. Right, that's amazing. That's what I wanted to see. So we took this, failed to take this, taken the low, starting to come under. 5 minutes has gone, we've taken the low. We expect this to be our current high, the 15-minute. we got a new hour. I just don't trust. Just don't trust it after yesterday. Right, we're back at it. Right. Retest. Right. Failed to come under the zero line though. MACD's bullish and coming up. He's such a fuck. So we've taken the high and the low of the previous candle. So here, when we came and then we corrected and then failed and then broke down, was one of the confluences to the trade for me, plus being under the zero line and correcting as well. So expecting that continuation here. With this dickish move after that, that's where I've not trusted it. So I've just been waiting. So possible new hour could flip bullish. There's no lazy boy trade this hour. See, if we were playing with kind of like data with inside bars, once we'd taken the high, this became high probability. Then when we switched, this is our high probability. So to go high and then flip is against probability, and then to flip again is very uncommon, but just shows sort of price action we're having now. All right, we've taken the high. So 15 minutes gone bearish, bullish. maybe we can return back to our hourly. Let's see. So that's now taken. Yeah, it's been an awful period. I mean, obviously yesterday we traded this piece of price action from about, this is where, sorry, we started here, and then obviously we had the China news, and then we had these false, so many false days, false hour, false hour, false hour, false hour. Probability was just poor. Which is a shame. But it's been a bit like that all week. I mean, you're going to have bad weeks, right? What I can't do is change what I'm doing just because I'm having a bad week. Right. I like this short, right? I like this short. But we've gone low, high, like... Right, we've got a new 15-minute, which is better. That last 15-minute closed bearish, but it was messy. We took the high and the low of the previous 15-minute.
Morning.
Yeah, I've come to join us on our beating of heads with another lovely week with gold. Yeah.
Takes the low, takes the high.
It's gone. So this is an inside bar on a 15-minute as well. We took the high, so expecting possibly this to go. It then took the low, so expecting this to go, which when it does that, most of the time that's then the true direction, and it'll go, and then comes back and takes the other direction.
I've never seen anything like it.
Chop, 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 chop. So, like I said, what I'd really like to see is us return into our hour or our 4 hour now. Because, as you can see here, the dynamic TP's come above the 0 line, right? So, first things first, I ain't going short until that goes under. Okay? Trend AI, which I have reduced because we're on the lower time frame, to the 15-minute. So we are also bearish on Trend AI. We're bearish on the 4-hour. So what I'm waiting for, really, ideally, is price to come back in line with the 4-hour, which, you know, possibly was there, faked. And this hour, I mean, it's difficult now, right? We've taken the low, we've taken the high. So we want to see dynamic TP come under, and then we'll go from there. Otherwise, we will revisit when we're back at the 4-hour. And let's just have a nice conversation this morning. Let's talk about how Tony is this morning. Sorry?
I'm fine.
Bringing your cold in.
Yeah, I hope you catch it.
So mean.
2 weeker.
A 2 weeker.
2 weeks like this.
Gonna pop to us a quick to get eggs. Any particular ones for the kids? Chicken eggs. It's a proper dad joke, that. Proper dad joke. My wife has texted me. Gonna pop to Asda quick to get eggs. Any particular ones for the kids? Chicken eggs.
If you write hen, just write hen, because your wife won't get that.
She won't get it.
She'll be looking for hen eggs.
I was watching a video this morning. Watching a video this morning of this guy that goes talking about what. So she's replied, yeah. Just get Eddie. She's terrible with like common humour. Terrible. I mean awful. Good morning, Overplay. With what, mate? With Lazy Boy? Lazy Boy is on gold. It's doing very well. I haven't got that data yet, mate, for alpha boxes. Right now, they're just support and resistance, and we're looking at them with an entry. We are building some stuff together for it, but our core system is Lazy Boy. Come on, under the 0 line. And what are we running at with Lazy Boy? Sort of on gold. Lazy Boy, yes. I mean, like, people's back tests on Lazy Boy is, there's tons and tons. Let's go in the Discord.
70% of average, was it something for Lazy Boy?
Well, we've got, so we've still got a 12-week challenge going with Lazy Boy, which most people in Discord aren't in. So people are still back testing, building up their confidence with it. The last back test was 69% win rate, 31% loss, 93 wins, 41 losses, and that was it was 2025, that. This back test, when did it finish? So it finished on the 11th, so that's quite a recent back test. Yeah, it's a 1-to-1, that one. When we looked at it with a 50% a reduced stop, targeting 2R, and that was amazing. Did really well, and even a potential 4R as well. So where, for example, say we were taking a Lazy Boy trade now. Now we haven't got the hourly, right? 65%. So we'd be right now. The hour's confirmed, so we expect this low to go right. So say for example we were trading Lazy Boy. So this is a traditional Lazy Boy, right? 1-to-1. if you do just at 2R, that's had a really high win rate as well. And then we were looking at 4R as well, especially when you've got the higher, like the 1 hour, the 2 hour and the 4 hour combined. These trades play out really well. Right, we're under the 0 line now. Finally got its commitment in direction. Right, so there's the low gone. So now we can expect this to be our hourly high, right? And now it fucking disappears. So this is the this is basically the trade that I was looking for. If we hadn't have taken this high, then I'd have looked to take this trade here, back out of this 1 hour, and I was looking for a continuation down to here. So this is the trade that I was looking for. So you can see we come over the 0 line. If this then breaks, let me just check where it is. Come on. So there, that would have been my entry. Just looking at my screen. Here would have been my entry. And then either taking a partial here, or we've got like a previous hour, which I was targeting here, right? So I'd have been looking to take it to that sort of alpha box there, which is obviously what we've just done. So that would have been the trade if we hadn't have taken that high. When we confirmed, obviously below the 50%, which gave us the probability of the low going, we had no tapping. Good morning. We're still working on the lazy boy indicator. So, which I think it's just under alpha. Let me just turn the table off. So here we're building out the confluences that you look for with lazy boy, right? And we're looking to include the algo as well. Something we're working on. So we've got a few more to add in, right? So we've got, are we above or below the 50%? Or alpha boxes. Should put the 50% on as well. We've got, have we taken the previous hour high or low? Right? So we can change that actually. So I can say, let's have the 15 minute, the 1 hour, and the 4 hour. Right? So our 1 hour is bearish. Dynamic TP. These I'm probably going to remove. These are just a test. So this is still in development now. Yeah, you'll be all the alerts. So what we want to set it is you can set which particular, say for example, you need 5 or 4 combined, or you know, set ones. If I see this, this, and this, then I get an alert. So this is the trade that I was looking for. Coming down here. So we'll get obviously like dynamic TP, all that sort of thing. So we'll all be added in, and then we'll also look to add in the data as well, for example. So when you get a 50% retracement, stop above the high, targeting the low, and then being able to set stop loss maybe at like not above the high at 25%, and then different levels. And then it'll go back and look at, you know, your win rate based on those selections. So a bit more mechanical. We're not trying to push to mechanicals. We still believe having that edge of when not to take trades is really important. But at the same time, we want to be able to give you some data around how it's doing. But we are working on a lot at the moment. I mean, obviously, most of our time is spent. We're not trading during the day just because we're spent working on MaxAlgo all day, building these things out. You know, Tony's been crazy on the 1 hour. So, for example, this is our 1 hour, right? So we can select a particular 1 hour now, and get the stats for that 1 hour. So, for example, where are we now? So we are candle 4 to 5, which means we're on candle 5. And we're going to do 4 segments because I'm using 15 minutes. Okay. And then if I go up to the 15-minute, you can see the probability of this hour. So the 124 hours, so 124 days. This hour has had a 66% probability of putting in its high and low in the first 15-minute segment. And then you can see it drops down to 17% on the 7th segment. But then you're able to go through particular hours. So previous hour was a bit lower. Next hour, not as great. That change, yeah. So you can see like that hour drops dramatically. It's not a good hour to trade with the hourly. You can the 10 to 11, which is the 10 o'clock candle in New York, probability increases nicely, right? In the first 15 minutes, we've got a 76% probability, which is good. So if we use 3 segments, because I like to get 20 minutes in, you can see those 2 hours, right? 8 till 9, 9 till 10 are not good hours to trade. Oh, that's why I'm on the... Sorry guys, I need to come down. We're on 20-minute segments, can't do it on 15-minute candles. Being a div. That's 6, that's 20 minutes, that's fine. And you look at 10 to 11 there, look, 90%. So the last 72 days, the 10 to 11 candle in New York. Yeah, Dean. We're working on it. So like the 10 to 11 candle New York time, look at that, 90% probability when we've been bullish, the last 72 days has had the low in the first 20 minutes.
Seaford, is it possible to work out if the high low the previous hour is already taken, then what the segment bullish high low stats are?
Segment.
So once it's took the high,
Yeah. Then what the probability of segment 1, 2, 3, 4, or like X closing bullish?
I'm not sure what it means.
Do you mean if we take the previous high, say in segment 1, what's the probability that segment 2 is bullish, segment 3 is bullish, segment 4 is bullish? I don't think it means the hour because it's talking about a segment. Or do you mean the entire hour, which is the stat that I put out on X last night?
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Because this is what I'm working on, so.
So do you mean, Steve, I'll draw it out on the chart. That's gone with ours anyway. Right.
It takes you've got to remember it takes about 30 seconds for them to get through to us anyway.
Oh, does it? Fuck yes. So here's the first hour, right? Yeah, so you're talking about individual segments. So here, for example, we take the low at 5 minutes past. So for example, we had 6 segments in segment 1. So once we've done that, then what the probability of segment 2...
6 segments in segment
No.
one?
Say there's 6 segments in an hour,
Yeah,
right?
sorry, yeah.
So segment...
Candle 1. You said 6 segments in a segment? I don't know what you mean.
6 segments in an hour.
Okay.
In segment 1, we take the previous hour low.
Yeah.
Therefore, we're expecting that candle to be bearish. What's the probability then that segment 2... What is the probability segment 2 closes bullish or bearish? What's the probability segment 3 closes bullish or bearish? And so on. So like after we take it, does it show that segment 2 has a high probability of actually being bullish because we're expecting a retracement? Is it?
Similar.
Yeah, I mean we're just looking at when you take the segment during an hour, what's the probability of the hour closing bullish? Rather than...
So I don't need to know all the other candles, I just need to know after that candle takes the high or the low, what is the probability of the next candle matching that direction?
No. No, so here, look at this.
Segment, sorry.
Yeah. What are the next segments? But the only thing I'd say is, obviously, you'd kind of want to build one that goes, if you take it in segment 1, it's that different. There's lots of ifs. If you take it in segment 1, what's the probability that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 close bullish or bearish? If you take it in segment 2, what's the probability 3, 4, 5, 6 close? So there'll be so many variants because...
I don't like it, if I'm being honest. I don't like the...
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do...
It's interesting. I think you just do one segment 1.
I think you need to keep it simple and say...
If we take the low in segment 1...
Whatever segment it takes it, what is the probability of the next one?
The next segment.
Closing in the same direction?
Yeah, I mean, when we look at the data, I think it's like the majority of the data is in segment 1, isn't it? When a low goes, most of the time it happens in segment 1.
It'd probably give you the best chance of getting the data, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of combos there, Steve. I think I'd probably just look at one segment for that. I think it's doable, right? So if we take the low in segment 1, what's the probability 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Because if we look at that data, I've got it on here. So here you can see yeah, so 238 times, and of the 238 times, 150 of it was in segment 1 and 2. So you could break it down in smaller and say 3. Let's break it down to 4 segments actually. What am I on? 5 minutes? Can I do? Yeah, I can do 4. Yeah, let's see. There's still a good chunk. 50 there. So you really want the first 20 minutes too. So you'd have to do 3. 157. Yeah, I like it. It's just how many segments we display from it. Little fucking... So this was the short that we were looking for. Unfortunately, we took the high. Just beforehand, which gave us an early buy signal, which kept me out the trade. Once we started the new 15-minute, we didn't get a retracement back, even confirming that the hour was potentially bearish. That's hourly, sorry, I don't want 3 hour. 642 hours. So over 50% in the first 2 segments. And it's pretty spread out. Yes. Enjoy Easter. Take it easy, Aaron.
See you later, Aaron.
It's funny that because the probability drops quite significantly. See, in the first segment, remember what I said to you, when you get the sweep of the low in the first candle, often can be a reversal.
Yeah.
Obviously, the data for when you take the low and then closing bullish is less in segment 1. So when you've taken the low, sorry, when you've taken the high in segment 1, there's a 66% probability, but as time goes on, the probability just increases. Now I'm wondering if we increase it to 10. So 10 gives us 6-minute candles, so I'll have to go to 6 minutes. I have to go to on the 1 minute. Yeah, so it really is about after that. After the first 10 minutes. $70. 12 minutes. Yeah, so after the first 10 minutes. It's nasty. Wow, that's a big bullish candle. So we've taken the high. Interesting. Possibly might see a return to the 4 hour. Sweep these highs. That could be an option. Sorry, guys. Lost the daily. Just wait. Let's take a look at NQ. That was nicer on NQ. Stayed bearish the entire time. Stayed under on the MACD. That was nice. Return to the 4 hour. Possible lazy boy actually. Hits the 50%. So, because obviously if you look at the algo is currently corrective bullish sequence 1. So if that was the case, let's just give the example what we were talking about, right? So there is your 1-to-1. Now, if you wanted to trail it, you could look for the previous hour for 2R and potentially back to the 4 hour, right? And what we were talking about was a lot of the time you don't get, you get a tap like this, especially with the alpha box there, right? So if we were to half it, so we're at on our, so 50%. I think that works out about right. Let's have a look. So at the time, this would have been your low. Ah, okay. Yeah, look, there's 50% entry. There's stop. There's the low for 1R. 50%. Right? It's 2R. And then a lot of time you'll get that push to 4. Or even just looking for 2 like that. Potential return into here. 1.5 or even potentially to there. My God, he comes in the morning with his million pieces of food, sits there munching away. What are you eating now? Cheese. A block. I know you all sorts.
Cheese, olives, ham.
Living the dream. And he never brings anything for me. Doesn't even offer me a slice of cheese.
That's horseshit. I offered you yesterday. You looked at me like I was
busy. Busy, was focusing.
You won't eat it. It's not bread.
Harsh.
Why are you offended by eating bread?
No. I'm not offended by eating bread. I'm offended that you think that's all I eat.
Is it a lot what you eat? Do you love bread?
I love bread. Oh, he was ringing me. Hang on a second. Stupid woman. I thought it was an emergency.
It was.
What chocolate egg shall I get? I'm on the, you know I'm on red trading. I think if you're married, you know my pain. So back to the 4 hour. Right, very often we get that push up, go bearish, return to the 4 hour. That is a lovely, lovely trade. Fuck you, gold. This week, I swear to God.
Well, I've been going in.
Switched off NQ because the probability of the 4 hour is stronger during this period in gold that I trade. And gold has just been horrible this week. Right, let's have a look at what the probabilities have been like today. We did this yesterday and it was amazing, so I'm doing it again. No. Right. A lot stronger. A lot stronger. We'll have a look. I'll show you. If you trade New York, the 4 hour that starts at 10 on New York is the best on NQ. A lot of them is good, but it's a great 4 hour stat. Let's have a look. So what have I done? Beep, 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 beep. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? It's not bloody May. I think it jumps ahead when you click it. I swear it does. Right.
Maybe it does because I keep ending up on May. I'm like, I didn't pick May.
I picked April and it goes bim, month ahead. I swear it does that.
I'm glad you said that. What was losing my mind?
Well, the hours have been super clean today. I need to focus on that. Let's look at the 15 minutes. Just what I've been on. Yeah, bearish 15 minutes have been better today because we are bearish. So we are seeing that the probabilities increase with the direction of the trend as well. So here you can see today for gold, right? Of the bearish hours that we've had, the 4 bearish hours, the high of the bearish 4 hours, 3 of them have been in the first segment. I'm just looking at from here, right? So bullish hour, bullish hour, bearish hour, bearish hour, bullish, bearish. So we expect this to be a bearish hour, right? How long have we got left? 5 minutes. So it's our bearish hour. So our hourly data has been bob on today. So that's giving me a little bit more confidence we can hold that. So these are individual 4-hour candles. So we are trading candle 3 in the morning. It's the third 4-hour candle, right? Beep, 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 beep. So you can see within the first hour on gold, 63% probability of our high and low. On NQ that's only 50%, and that second hour increases dramatically. CL is even worse. This 4 hour candle. Right? So we can have a look at the candles. Candle 1 on gold's not great. Candle 2 is. So the second 4 hour candle of the day. 65, 61%, that's good. Even better, candle 3. Candle 4 drops dramatically to that next candle. Candle 5 is amazing, which is the 10 o'clock one in New York. You can see 79% and 84% probability from 10 o'clock onwards, that 4 hour candle in New York. There is an 80% probability, basically, that in the first hour you're going to have your high and low. So half an hour, New York opens, half an hour later, 4 hour candle starts. Incredible stats. And it's the same thing on NQ. So when we start our NQ streams, or when we start our New York streams, that's what we'll be doing. We'll be trading that 4 hour candle. Because the probabilities are great. Does that help, Steve? Oh.
It does jump. Just tested it.
There you go. Could we be returning to the daily on NQ? Could we? Here's our daily. Here's our 4 hour. Yeah. That 10 a.m. candle is incredible. And all the stats that we use, so above the open, taking the high, we're building them in for the individual candles so that you'll be able to see the individual hour and the individual 4 hour, the probabilities for all of them. If this low goes, oh, we're literally on a brand new 4 hour candle now. Yeah, so you'll be able to see when all the high probabilities play out. So that you can shape your trade window and around the pair that you trade, right? So the average, the hourly works out better because there's more hours with less volatility around them, as where the 4 hour candles have more and the daily has even more. So the hourly candles are pretty average. However, you can see some hours are dramatically better and dramatically worse, right? The 2 hours around New York, the hour before, and then the hour during are like the stats are rubbish. So we've taken this low on this 4 hour. Quite fancy a return to the daily. Starting to transition on dynamic TP. It is on the 15-minute, so it's lower. But you can see, obviously, we've gone bullish. And then potentially a transition. This week has been a really interesting week for... I mean, NQ on the dailies has been incredible. So, yesterday's daily level, beautiful liquidity grab and dropped straight out of that daily level. I mean, oh my god. I don't trade then, but wow. And then we've obviously retraced back up. We look at previous days. Have I not got them extended? I have. How many have I got on? Busy. What am I doing wrong? That's interesting. Not seeing that won't work. Doing the same as well. It's definitely something to do with the daily. Not liking the daily. Gold doing the same. I'll have to check it out. I was looking at this last night, but I'll have a look why it's doing that. I think it's this computer. Keep having problems on this computer with them. Right, let's get back to it. We need to just focus for a second. I want our 4 hours on. I'm going to put my 15 minutes on. And I'll just change this to the hourly. So new hour, new 4 hour, right? We come up. So it'd be interesting to see, is this our 4 hour wick, right? So the previous 4 hour, this is a big wick. Strong 4 hour, big wick. So we've already taken the low of the previous 4 hour. So it did it immediately. So segment 1, so we know the probability is probably about what, 66%, right? Don't like it when it's immediate though on the first candle. But really simple, if we're expecting to go bearish, we expect to break under here, retest, and then we've got the previous 4 hour, and then the daily as levels to target. Right, gold. Here we go. So gold's got a 74% probability of a bearish hour, meaning we could have a lazy boy set up this hour. So we want to see the first 20 minutes. This is the previous 4 hour. We just couldn't get above it there. Come back to it again. It's the last hour of the 4 hour. Don't think this will play out now. So we do expect, this is our 15-minute candle, so this is definitely not playing out now. So we expect this to be our high, right? In the first 5 minutes, we've already taken the low. So if you think of it in 3 segments, right? So 20 minutes, so 15 minutes, we would expect this to be our high. What? Are we in linear? God's sake. I'm just about to set this and it looks like we're going to come under anyway. Okay. Do. Oh yeah, I like NQ short. We've got a little bit more time. 7 more minutes. And then we get our 20-minute period over for our first hour, giving us our high probability high or low. So this is the previous hour. Sorry, the previous 15 minute. Right, so we had a bearish 15 minute. We've retraced back up to the previous alpha box, which we're rejecting from. And now we're coming back. So it's just, potentially, the next 15 minutes, will we flip bearish, right? Yeah, so we've only got 30 seconds. So let's see what the next 15 minutes does. So if you think about this big wick, where we come down and come flying back up, if we can break through that buying pressure, could see that's where I could potentially see that drop. Let's see. New 15 minute. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. 3 more minutes. Gold's looking too bullish to get below the 50% of the first 20 minutes.
Sense check. One of these tables, if it's tracking whether second one above the open and then the hour's bullish or it's below the open and then the hour's bullish or bearish, whatever it is, that should mean that for each hour there should be 6 figures in that box, shouldn't there?
Yeah. Yeah, they should all be equal as well. Because every hour's got the same number.
Every hour should have 6, shouldn't it?
Yep.
Just checking. That's fine. It's a sense check.
So I'm looking for the 50% level, which we're not going to get in this first hour. Just need to be a little bit patient. So gold, if we were to think about the 50% point, it's here, which gives us more probability to take the high, which means we expect this to be the low then for the hour. So gold's going to have to come down to about here, this candle. Otherwise, we don't get our setup for lazy boy. That's it. So you can see we close above 50%, which means we expect the high to go, which means we expect this to be our low. High goes, so it's to be our low. NQ, same thing. Right. So right now, do. Interesting. So we're going to have a bullish 4 hour or bearish 4 hour. We expect to see that within the first hour. Just looking at this level, like, because obviously we've taken the low. There's only, this is the last hour, so this high, obviously we expect to be the high, but it's not really a, right now, not really an issue. So if you think of this from a structural point of view, right? So taken the high, taken the high, taken the low. Now we've not closed below the low. On the 15-minute we have closed below, right? So we had a 15-minute close just on, I think just on. Let's have a look. Yeah, you see? Just on it. So we've come up, sweep, so potentially 1 hour could be our rejection. Obviously we need to see the data align to give us the probability of a bearish hour, etc. But we interesting to see if we do. It's just one line. Doing it wrong again. Maybe we bounce in between them levels back down to the daily. If we're going to go bullish and maybe come for this high, we see this level flip, possibly. Got our alert on. Beep, beep, beep. Cool. Just didn't quite reach that 4 hour. We were looking at a potential rejection off of here, but it got a bit too late for me. We were looking at I think we were looking for 2, but I would say it was probably more like that. But this is too late. Nice tap on this back to this 15-minute box though, yeah? I'll show you that a bit closer. Right, there's our 15-minute box. Bing. Euro. Not expecting that to do. That would be a false figure. We should look for the reversal. NQ. So if we think about this from a 4-hour, here's our 4-hour candle. Right. Big wick. So potentially next 4-hour candle, when this hour finishes, right, is then we get the flip. Oh no, this is next 4-hour, isn't it? Is it? No, it's current 4-hour there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we've got this hour. So I'm thinking beep 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 beep. I am thinking back down to the daily. Ooh, we got a VIP. So that's the previous hour, right? So really nice bearish candle. Closed well below those last 2 hours. So a retracement back up. And then potentially we're expecting a continuation to the downside as well, which fits in with our 4-hour. So probably need to see this hour close or flip, and then potentially I'm looking here maybe a rejection as well. Might not get that high. These are what I'm looking for, these sort of trades, where we put in our wick, flip, tap, continue. Just those are the ideal. Possibly back to the 4-hour. Ten tick, 20 ticks. Well, the high's gone now. So now we expect this to be our low. Next 15 potentially go bullish. We haven't had our first 5 minutes yet. Previous 15 minute. Gold, go short. Let's go. You just had to take that pissing high first, didn't you? Waiting for the alert on gold. Come on. So the 15-minute right now is just more bullish vibes, right? Because we've potentially put in our wick, come above, taken the highs here, right? So it means that it's more likely for us to have a bullish 15-minute, not 100%. Yeah, I am more bearish, and I was hoping to be able to look for a little short back to the 4 hour. but I think I'll just have to wait for the next 15 minutes. It's just going to be a bit messy potentially. Let's wait for the next 15 minutes on NQ. Yeah?
T3.
No?
How weird.
What MaxAlgo?
Literally on T3. I've just loaded it.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, still there. Weird.
Huh?
Still there. Weird.
What? You on NQ? Or
Yeah. On a completely different chart.
let me just have a look. No, no. Not on any.
Weird. Don't worry. Doesn't make any difference. I just want to remove anything.
I wonder why it's copying across. I want this fucking short. Want it on NQ. Oh, there we go. So we've taken the low. Ah, you little fucker. You gonna get any sort of retracement back up? What do you think? Any sort of retracement back up? No? Oh, come on.
Yes. Yes. Oh, you little sausage.
Ah, yeah, bugger. So, I was hoping that we might get a tap back up and play it down to this 4 hour. It's a shame we just messed around like that, because that's what we were looking for, that short back to the 4 hour. This previous 15 minute. We want to flip. We've got 15 minutes until the next 4 hour candle. 4 hour candle, we want to see flip bearish. Even at the end of this hour, if we can false, that's good. Starting to weaken on trend AI. But I'm waiting for all the confirmations. So this 15-minute becomes an inside bar. Come on.
Two down.
A little later than I wanted. Showed the limit order there. 2 down. And obviously I'd love to see this whole thing now drop all the way. Come on. Just got to take this low. Come on. Oh, you're a fucker. Come on. just wondering if we play Yay. This high goes, we expect this high to go, which means potentially a tap here. That's better. I really want to see this flip. Oh my, come on. Equal the low. Come on, we want to see the low go. Come on. Okay, I'm going to trail. Going to check for reactions if we do. Oh, we just didn't take that low. We equaled the low. Let me just get rid of that. So for this hour to close bearish, we need to close below that level. There is still a probability of that happening. You can see that the 1 hour algo is corrective bullish. So there's a 34% probability the candle closes bullish. So for that, it would need to close above this open. Now, we don't expect the low to go because we've taken the high, but those things can happen. We're looking very corrective though, which I don't like. We should have gone down then really and taken it if we were going to go. That's what I wanted to see, is that level go. So we might sweep highs now. Was looking at this sort of level, right? There's inducement, tap into here, and then maybe that's the new 4 hour. Could reduce stop to here because we don't want to see that high go. Desperately need a wing. Another wick down. Come on. Is one of you going to go, or are we just going to play games? We're just going to play games. Right, so the low's gone. Which means, like, we expect this to go. Oh my God. It is just playing. What time is it?
10:55.
I feel like I really don't like this. Like, we've just gone up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm not sure of this price action now. From what was being pretty clean to a horrible 15-minute candle. So we've used the previous 15-minute, but we've literally just gone down, up, down, up, down. We've taken the low of the previous 15-minute, which is an inside bar, which gives us a probability for this low here. But then as soon as we did that, we immediately wicked back up and closed bullish. It is... I don't know if we're just waiting for that new 4-hour candle to open. And I'm just thinking, are we looking to sweep?
I don't like that on the TP.
Yeah, it crossed when we were under, which was part of my reasoning for the trade. I was like, right, we're under, we're crossing, you know, we're bearish, this is looking good, and then obviously we've just failed twice. Yeah, it's a pretty bad 15-minute candle. Pretty bad. Beep, 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 beep. Last minute. So we took the low of the previous hour, which also gives, especially later on, high probability of the hour closing bearish, which is why I held on. We took the low of the inside bar, which is also high probability. So we're out. And we'll have to look at taking again. Hit my daily limit, my trade limit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to wait for us to hit our alert. And then I'll come back. And then on gold. Started a new hour. So here's our new 4-hour candle, which, if you remember, we're looking to flip bearish. But we need to see confirmation for that. Ideally, you want to see the previous go and then a tap back in. That's what we're looking for. But we'll see. Even than that, guys, this is the last stream for today and the week. Bank holiday tomorrow. I hope you all have a lovely Easter. And we're back on Tuesday, Wednesday next week. And we'll see you then. All right, guys, take care. Morning, Mark. Bye, Mark. Mark. Just join. I just want to see this 4-hour. See if we do take these levels, but I'll leave the alert on and we'll get on it later. Fucking dropping now. Bag. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Short and sweet. Yeah, I know, man. Sorry. We've been on. It's normal sort of. What are we on? Sort of 8:30, 9:30, 10:10, 11. Couple of hours. Nearly had a lazy boy, but we went the other way. Other than that, guys, take it.